But what is really at stake, and why should developing countries bear the brunt of this global environmental devastation? My colleague Kofi J of our researchers joins me in the studio with some information on this. Kofi, let's start with how much Ghana is getting from its oil discovery, for instance.
All right, so Ernest, let's start with gold, actually.
Okay,
so
let's start with gold.
Some digging on, total exports from, from gold, and this is in billion USD. So in 2016, the cumulative, revenue or exports amount to go from export from gold was around 4.92 billion cedis
in 2016,
and this rose to 5.79 billion cedis in 2017. Then a slight, a marginal decline to 5.44 billion, dollars in 2018. It climbed up again to 6.23 billion USD in 2019, and in 2020, 6.79 billion USD. Now, as of May 2021,
we dropped.
Yeah, that's just like 4 months. So it's fair enough that the figure drops to 1.8 1 billion cedis. So the next slide.
Okay. So this is for gold. The next slide we'll look at oil.
So oil. The next slide talks about crude oil. So in 2016, we started off with 1.35 billion US dollars. A significant increase to 3.02 billion USD in 2017. And fast forward to 2020, when COVID struck, we were doing 2.91 billion cedis. That was a drop from 4.49 billion cedis in 2019 to 2.9, almost like half of what we were doing in 2019.
Pre-COVID,
actually. And in 2021, as of May, we had done 1.15 billion cedis.
Okay.
As of May. Now, if you combine the two, that is crude oil and gold, how much you are getting from the period under review. 2016, we got in total 6.29 billion cedis from export. In 2017, 8.1 billion US dollars. In 2018, it rose to 10.01 billion USD, and in 2019 to 10.27 billion USD in 2019. Now, there was a decline. Exactly, probably because of COVID,
yeah.
To 9.1 billion USD in 2019. And as of last year, May,
a further decline
because we are looking at just 4 months in the year of 2021, which is 2.96 billion US dollars. These figures are from the Bank of Ghana's, summary data on the countries.
Okay, so we've seen how much you're making from oil and from gold.
That's it.
Now, this call is coming as a result of the emissions that we know is bordering on climate change. Various countries, various continents we know have contributed significantly to this. Yeah. I know Africa's contribution is very little, but I want you to put the figures to it. So help us understand.
So let's go to the touch screen, the smart wall. And here we have, this is the global picture, the global outlook. We are talking about carbon dioxide emissions, in kilotons. So the deeper the blue, the higher the emission rate.
Okay.
So if you look at areas in Africa, countries in Africa, you see that the blue is very light, meaning we are emitting less. If you actually do the math, you realize Africa is emitting less than, 3% of the global total. And then places like the Northern America, Europe, and then Asia, they are doing more than 20%, emissions. So let's look at a country like Ghana. We are emitting, this according to the World Bank data, 16,110, kilotons of carbon dioxide emission every year. And then places like, the United States is doing 4,981,300, kilotons of
Can we look at
carbon
China?
Dioxide emissions. So China will be somewhere, yeah, that's China. 10.3 million, 10.3 million in a year. That's the carbon dioxide emission. China is actually
and I guess that will be Canada also.
Yeah, we have Canada. Okay, so Canada is doing 574,000 a year, and we have United States, which we've spoken about already. But let's look at Russia. Russia is emitting 1.6 million kilotons of carbon dioxide emission in a year. So
Kofi, thank you very much for bringing us those details, putting the figures to the conversation we are having today on Joy News Prime. Let's go